All right, guys, so welcome back to my channel. I'm John, investor and realtor here in the St. Louis market. I wanted to talk to you all about the experience that I just went through. I'm familiar with the process, but I wanted to talk about rental caps and to make sure that you're being diligent whenever you're looking at properties and contracting properties when you're working with buyers. So I'm shopping for a buyer. She's looking for an investment property here in the St. Louis area. And we found a good one, found a nice ranch. The home was great. They were going to give it to us with the past occupancy as well. I'm really glad. So lately we've been advocating for past occupancies. We're trying to get the properties to where we already have a past occupancy. So any type of upgrades or repairs, the client can just do what they want, but they don't have to worry about any more inspectors because we're already past that for the next 90 to 120 days, but we'll have a tenant place by then. So this is a property. It was in Ferguson, Missouri, and we wanted the past occupancy. So I always get that paperwork over. Can you send me over the certificate or the permit that the county or the city sent you? And they weren't able to produce it. Well, you only have to worry about the exterior inspection. It was just very, very, very murky. So that led me to actually picking up the phone and calling Ferguson myself. And when I gave Ferguson a call, they really didn't want to release the information at first because I honestly didn't know that Ferguson had enacted rental caps. So the rental cap is per street. They have a certain capacity of rental properties that are allowed on that street at a certain time. If they are at capacity, you cannot make your property a rental property. If they're below capacity, then you can, or you may be on like a waiting list or something. But for the particular property that I was looking for, they were at capacity. I'm so glad that I called. But yeah, she didn't want to release the information. And the reason they don't really want to get into the weeds with it is because, let's say, I call you, you tell me, okay, you're good. You can go ahead and buy the property. We're well below capacity, and closing isn't to 20, 30, 45 days from now, and they reach capacity, and now you close on the property, and you can't turn it into a rental property, and that was your sole exit strategy for the property. Now, we kind of have a situation on our hands. So they don't really like releasing the information, or at least I found that it was a little tougher than what I would have thought that it would have been to just call and get simple information on where are we in regard to the capacity of the rental caps in the area. But I say all that to say is that here in St. Louis, we have St. Louis County, and then we have a bunch of smaller municipalities. And the smaller municipalities, they do what they want to do. They have their own rules. They'll make you jump through some hoops that they've created for their town. So you want to know about that, especially if you're buying in different parts of your city. St. Louis County, we know that like my experience is going to be pretty similar to wherever I'm buying that falls under St. Louis County. But next I may buy in Jennings, then I may buy in Ferguson. Not buying in Delwood, not buying in Country Club Hills, but you'll start to buy in different spots. You're like, man, my experience here was this, and it was very smooth, and they can care less about your experience with another municipality. So until you familiarize yourself with some of these local municipalities, just pick up the phone, call them. I have a property. We are about to contract it. Here's our goal. This is what we're looking to do with the property. Can you tell me, is there anything I need to know? I want to make sure that I'm best positioning my client. Oh yeah, well, we actually have you have to register rental property. So that's going to be $150 a year. Make sure your client knows that. Or else whenever title changes, you have to run an exterior and interior occupancy inspection. Make sure your client knows that. You're getting on the phone with the actual source. You don't want to close on the property for an investor who's looking to purchase a property for investment purposes, and then they close on it, and then they can't run it as a rental property. Also, whenever you're purchasing a property with a past occupancy, beware of they can have a homeowner's past occupancy, but the property is not registered as a rental property. So you want to be mindful of all of those things whenever you're buying properties in smaller municipalities that may have their own rules. One of those rules may be rental caps. Also, even if it has a rental cap today, they can dismantle it tomorrow with different leadership. They can pick it back up 4 years from now. So you really just have to always stay current. You have to stay current on what's going on with the local governments in your in your city if you're going to be representing buyers and sellers. So that's it. That's all I got. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you are looking to buy or sell here in St. Louis, visit my website. I have it down in the description. And yeah, I would love to see if we would be a good fit. But if not, make sure you subscribe. My goal is to have one of these videos coming to you once every week. So you're my accountability partner. Hold me to it. I'll see you guys next week.